Hi, I'm Katie Couric in the CBS Newsroom, and welcome to Eye to Eye. Israeli Foreign Minister Tzipi Livni has the daunting task of negotiating a lasting peace in an area that has seen centuries of war. We talked about what the future holds for her country, surrounded by hostile neighbors. Will Israel allow Iran to develop nuclear weapons?
I believe that the world, not only Israel, cannot afford a nuclear Iran. It is now being understood, especially after Lebanon, what is the Iranian threat. This is the common understanding. I think that the fact that the Iranian president, the one who mocked the Holocaust, denies the Holocaust, called the Jews to go back to Europe, speak openly and publicly about his vision of wiping Israel off the map, I think that this kind of person should not be invited to the United Nations. I believe that his speech here today, it is outrageous. And I believe that this kind of president cannot be a member of the family of nations.
If Iran continues to thumb its nose at the United Nations, would Israel consider military action to stop it from building a bomb?
Israel supports the efforts of the international community to stop Iran in promoting its nuclear plan in diplomatic means. So Israel is working right now with the international community, and let's hope that sanctions will be implemented and Iran stops its vision or its plan before the crucial moment.
Iran is a major sponsor of Hezbollah, with whom Israel had a 34-day war. Some say Israel lost this conflict and that Hezbollah is more empowered and more popular than ever. What is your reaction to that assessment?
Firstly, time will tell. I mean, we are just at the end of an operation, and after Resolution 1701 was adopted by the United Nations. But it's important to see right now what is the situation in Lebanon, and things are changing for a better region. We wanted to change the rules of the game in Lebanon, and it was clear that after a military operation, there's a need for a change in Lebanon, and this is something that a military operation cannot achieve. For example, for the first time, the Lebanese government exercises its sovereignty and deploys its forces to the south part of Lebanon, in which Hezbollah controlled for years and years. For the first time, there is an arms embargo, and it is not legitimate to transfer weapons from Iran and Syria to Lebanon. For the first time, Nasrallah, Hezbollah's leader, had to excuse to speak to his people, to speak to the Lebanese people, and to say that he was wrong, that he made mistakes, because there is now a Lebanese understanding that Hezbollah is not an asset to Lebanon, but a burden. Israel took a decision not to attack Lebanon as a state, but to attack Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. It is more difficult to look for these terrorists who are hiding among civil population and not attacking the Lebanese army, which is, I think, the weakest army in the region. So we took our own decisions. Of course, there is now inquiries in Israel, and Israel is a democracy, so demonstrations are part of our lives. And as a decision member, I believe that all of our decisions can be checked and even criticized by the public. But I do believe in the Israeli army, and I do believe that at the end of the day, we are facing now a process, and the situation in Lebanon concerning Israel is better now.
Do you worry that those pictures that were so widely distributed among many Arab nations of dead Lebanese civilians, many of them children, will only serve to gin up and galvanize anti-Israeli sentiment and actions?
For any Israeli, it is clear that an Israeli soldier will not target a child, will not target civilians. We are working in order to prevent civil casualties on our side from these missiles coming from Hezbollah that targeted Israeli civilian population centers. But during a military operation, during a war, things like this can happen. For us, it is a mistake, a matter of mistake. And we are sorry for any loss of civilian life, also on the other side. But we have to defend our own citizens. And during this war, Israeli citizens lived in shelters for a month. Israeli citizens had to leave their homes. Israeli citizens died, not by mistake, but because these terrorists attack our civilian population center. So there is a moral difference, even though the grief of an Israeli mother and a Lebanese mother is the same.
I know you had a meeting this week with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Is there any hope for getting the peace process going again? King Abdullah of Jordan told me earlier this week the only way to deal with worldwide terrorism was to deal with the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and to get that settled once and for all.
There is nobody more than Israel that wants to end the conflict. The next day, this is our goal, this is our vision. But at the end of the day, we have to face reality. And reality is that the Palestinian Authority is controlled by terrorists, those terrorists that cannot accept my right to live, the right of Israel to exist. So I would like, I cannot accept the idea that all the evil of the world and the reason for terrorism in the world is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Terror is terror is terror, and there is no excuse for terror. And I believe that there is a better understanding right now that the conflict in our small world is between extremists and moderates, and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is just a model for the hate that these extremists can provoke in a region.